On February 28th, like a bolt from the blue, the United States and Israel suddenly launched a military strike on Iran. The operation, named Operation Epic Fury, instantly turned the Middle East into a new battlefield and captured the attention of the entire world. But the real question is, does this war truly demonstrate American strength, or is it a major strategic mistake? The Middle East has always been at the center of global politics. Following the oil crisis of the 1970s and the Iran hostage crisis in 1980, U.S. President Jimmy Carter declared that any external attempt to gain control of the Persian Gulf would be considered a direct attack on American interests, leading to the formation of a military structure that later evolved into the U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM. However, today's reality is different. The United States is now largely energy independent, yet it has once again become involved in a conflict in this region. The justification given is that reduced dependence on oil allows greater freedom to use military force. But in reality, within the first week of the war, fuel prices in the United States rose by 14%, proving that in a globalized world, no country is truly isolated. Former President Barack Obama once described Middle Eastern wars as costly and ineffective. And even Donald Trump himself had criticized regime change wars. Yet today, the Trump administration is carrying out military operations against Iran, creating a clear policy contradiction. The most immediate beneficiary of this conflict appears to be Russia. For President Vladimir Putin, this war has become an economic opportunity, as oil prices surged from around $73 per barrel before the war to over $100 afterward. This increase is strengthening Russia's economy and making it easier to finance its war efforts in Ukraine. At the same time, the United States is rapidly depleting its missile stockpiles in the Iran conflict, resources that are critically important for Ukraine's defense. Meanwhile, China is playing a completely different game. Under the leadership of Xi Jinping, China is investing heavily in technology and advancing in most of the key sectors that will define the future. Currently, about 70% of the world's electric vehicles, 80% of smartphones, and 90% of drones are manufactured in China, demonstrating its massive production dominance. While the United States is preoccupied with war, China is quietly establishing its technological supremacy. At the same time, China has a clear military objective: to be fully prepared by 2027 for a potential conflict over Taiwan and to ensure victory in such a scenario. In this context, the depletion of U.S. missile reserves and increased military pressure could pose a serious risk, as China may choose this moment to act. Overall, while the outcome of this war remains uncertain, from a broader geopolitical perspective, the United States may be unintentionally strengthening its rivals. Russia is gaining economically, China is building the future of technology and military power, and the United States is expending its resources and focus in the Middle East. In the end, the question remains, will this war be remembered as a victory for America or as the beginning of a gradual decline in its global leadership?